background. Let me get. All right, guys, welcome to our Tuesday night team call. It's typically Wednesday night, and I wanted to kind of go over some updates that we have from Vegas. But before we do that, I want to kind of give you guys, again, we record this call, so there's several people that can't be on it, but I wanted to chat with you guys about a couple things before we get into Vegas and updates about thinking outside the box. And I think it's very, very important that we think outside the box. And I'm going to give you kind of a little story of what happened to me when I was heading to Vegas. So I got 250 masks made that say I make money with Bitcoin, ask me how, as well as shirts made, polo shirts, jackets that say the same thing. And so as I am going to Vegas on Friday, some of you guys know the story, but I made my plane by 4 minutes. And as I went through security, which is a total different story, I finally got through security, and as I'm walking up to my gate, jogging up to my gate, I hear flight so-and-so to Vegas, you have 4 minutes to get, turn in your ticket. And I'm like, crap. So I started running. I was the last person to turn in my ticket. And when I did, I gave this gentleman in the mid-20s, maybe 30s, I gave my ticket, and he scanned it, and I started kind of running down towards the plane, and all of a sudden I hear, Mr. Dane, Mr. Dane. I'm like, oh great, he's going to charge me for baggage or something. And so I run back, I turn back around, I start running back to him. He said, hey, the plane is full, but how would you like an exit row all by yourself? I'm like, dude, that made my day. Yeah, absolutely. He said, I saw your shirt, which says, I make money with Bitcoin, ask me how. And I deal in Bitcoin. So I would love to know a little bit more. I'm like, dude, I will totally take care of you. So I gave him my number. He gave me the exit seat. I went back into the plane. By the time I sat down, he texted me his number. And he said, please reach out to me on Monday. And so I texted him back, absolutely, thank you so much. And so what I'm getting at is that from a marketing standpoint, I know Sarah's going to come in and talk more about social media marketing, but from a worldly being outside, being out in public standpoint, I think it's great that if we have something that just says, hey, this is what I do, ask me how. And so I've ordered 250 masks that say, I make money with Bitcoin, ask me how. If you guys want a mask, I am going to type in my email address right here, and I'm going to include it in the chat right now. So if you go to the chat, just send me an email, and I will let me know how many masks you want, and I'll let you know what they are, how much they are. What's nice about it is they say, and I wish I had a visual for you, but I don't. It says I make money with Bitcoin. It's COIN, and that O has the Bitcoin logo in it, so which is colored. So everything else is in black. It's a black mask with white writing, and then the O in Bitcoin is the orange Bitcoin logo. So if you guys can imagine that, I don't have a mask yet, so I can't take a photo of it to show you. But if you guys want a mask, just send me an email that's here in the chat. Let me know how many you want. Give me your address. I'll let you know what the cost is. You can Venmo me or Cash App me, however you want to pay me. And I think it's a great marketing tool to have. Get them to your entire team. If you have a team of 20 or 30 and you want to give, all of them to your team, it's only going to encourage growth within the company because Bitcoin is the hot topic. I didn't look this morning or today to see what Bitcoin was at, but I'm sure it's it's just going off the charts. It did take a dip yesterday, but it's probably back to where it was. Experts are saying it's going to hit about 300,000. So for those people that think, "Wow, I missed the boat on Bitcoin," you really haven't, because being at 40, 45,000, it's going to hit 300,000. You haven't missed the boat at all. But it's great that you are a part of the Bitcoin business right now. So I just want to kind of share my little experience that I had this past weekend, and thinking outside the box, and that's kind of what it is. It's how can I, how can I market myself or what I'm doing, that's going to affect other people. And I think with these masks that we're forced to wear across the entire world, what better opportunity to just put a billboard over your mouth. So again, if you want one or two or five, let me know. I'll get a price to you. I'll get that out to you. I'm not going to make much money on it at all. I'd rather you guys get those. And because the way I think is, okay, I bought 250. 250 is going to bring at least three people, so 750. That's going to at least attract 750 people into the business. And so, and even more, because you're wearing these masks every day. So as you wear them every day, every single day, you're going to just elicit more and more conversations. And so if you are new to PGI, you don't know what to say, get with your sponsor. Basically, what you want to do is you want to keep the ball in your court. All right, so what I mean by that is that if you get one of these masks, or you get your own mask, or whatever it is, a shirt, people are walking by and they say, "What do you do for Bitcoin?" You say, "Listen, I can show you a system that's earning me anywhere from 1 to 3% a day in Bitcoin. If you're interested, let me get your cell phone number and I'll text you all the information." So now the ball's back in your court. You get their name and you get their email address. I mean their hold on, let me mute this. You get their cell phone. Now the ball's in your court. So now you can send them a follow-up message. If you need help, get with your sponsor. Your sponsor will get with their sponsor. They can get with me. We can do whatever. If we need to do a call, I'll make a special call. We can do whatever. So if you're new and you don't know much, get with your sponsor. The key is to drum up as much business as possible. And I think wearing these masks or a shirt is going to really elicit a lot of conversation from people. Now, before we bring on some other people, what I want to talk about is a couple housekeeping things. Very, 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 very important that you use the barcode whenever you are, you create an invoice and you want to fund that invoice. If you can't, by all means, try to use the barcode by using the phone app or using the camera on your laptop to scan the barcode. If you can't scan the barcode for whatever reason, you must, and it's such a necessity, you must enter in the Bitcoin amount. And that's like a 6 or 7 digit number, 0.08654, whatever. We've had several issues where people tried to do a $10,000 account. So they go to Coinbase, and Coinbase is, I can't stand Coinbase, to be honest with you, quite frankly. I hate Coinbase. But Coinbase does not have a scanner on their app or on their desktop. But we had a situation yesterday, or maybe it was earlier today, I can't remember, where a gentleman wanted to do a $10,000 position, and they went to Coinbase and they typed in 10,019. And then they also sent in the address that PGI created for them, which is a 32-digit number. And when they sent it, they sent 10,018 and 30 cents. So technically, they were short by 70 cents. because they went in and they typed in the US dollar amount. It's very, extremely important if you're using Coinbase that you need to type in the exact Bitcoin amount that the invoice creates and use that amount with the Bitcoin address. So if you don't do that, chances are what's going to happen is support is going to send you back an email, and they're going to say you're a little bit short. This is the amount you need to send. This is the Bitcoin address you need to send it to. But that's gonna set you back a couple days. So please, by all means, use the Bitcoin amount and not the US dollar amount. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. I would definitely recommend using blockchain or BRD. BRD is really good. That is a app-only application on your phone. BRD, B as in boy, R as in Richard, D as in dog. BRD, you can find that. It's free to download, and so I would recommend using those two. There is a new support address. I'm going to type that in right now. It is if you are in the USA. If you're not, you don't have to worry about it. But it's global. It is support USA at pgiglobal.trade. So please make a note of that. What I recommend is we've had some people try to submit support tickets, and they're like, I've submitted 3 support tickets and support has not responded. One thing you have to remember is that when you submit a support ticket, you have to also include in the subject line your username with a little hyphen and the issue that you're having in the subject line. And then when you get into the body of the email, that's when you get a little bit more in depth about what your issue is, and this is my email and all that stuff. It does say that support will not look at support tickets if you don't have those criterias. So that is normally the issue with a lot of support tickets, is that you're not following the right criteria. Now, there is a new support for the United States, and what I would recommend is, let's say you're having a payment issue as well as, or whatever it is, I would always recommend sending a support ticket, if you live in the US, to support USA at pgiglobal.trade, plus maybe payment at whatever it is, PGI Global Trade, pgiglobal.trade. So send multiple emails, but I think if you live in the US, you definitely need to use the support USA at pgiglobal.trade for everything. So let's see. So here, a couple other updates that we have, and I'm going to bring Gary on, as well as Richard Marks, to talk kind of a little bit about some updates that we have from Vegas. I know PGI will actually have its own e-wallet. Not sure if you know about that. I know that we talked about that last month, but within probably by February, maybe March at the latest, PGI Global, they're going to have their own e-wallet. And what I mean by that is that you don't need to use blockchain. You don't need to use Coinbase. They're going to have a system set up where you can actually choose to get paid immediately within like 5 minutes on Monday when you do a withdrawal, or just get paid the regular way, which takes 2 to 5 business days. So there will be a little fee, a nominal fee, if you want to get paid immediately. But sometimes, again, convenience is everything. People want to get paid immediately, and you can take advantage of that. That's coming down the pipeline. There is also going to be a payment solution coming down with a couple options. One, we're going to have a call this Thursday with Dinero, which is Danny Pacheco, a good friend of mine. He owns the Dinero app. where Lynn Nicely, I don't know if he's on the call right now, but he actually purchased $10,000 of Bitcoin last week on the Dinero app and used his credit card. There is a 6.5% fee to use a credit card, but that's still a great option to have. A lot of people have credit cards, and I am not by any means telling anybody to do this. You make your own decision. If you want to choose to use a credit card, so be it. I do tell everyone, do not invest any money that you can't afford to lose. But you can use a credit card up to $20,000 a day, I believe, with Dinero. And Danny's going to be chatting all about that on Thursday's call. It's going to be a special call that we're going to do, just specially for Dinero. So that is a payment option. We also have Robert Craddock talking to him. He's got Capiche coming down the pipeline as well. I think he's got a debit card that is soon to come out that you can use. And again, I think you can use your credit card to purchase Bitcoin. So that is all coming down the pipeline. Now, I also will be doing a video. I know that I sent in the Telegram app that I was doing a video on I think what's today? I think Sunday or Monday. Monday I was going to do a video. I got a little bit behind, but I'll be doing a video definitely tomorrow that's going to explain the whole back office, because we still have people that don't know how to create an invoice and don't know how to do a couple other things, although most of those videos are in the welcome email that I've created and sent out. But I think it's time to do an updated video on the back office. So with that, I would like to, that's kind of the housekeeping things. I would also just kind of briefly talk about phrases to use, not to use when you're dealing with marketing, and I'm sure Sarah will talk more about this. But when you are talking with people, whether it be your friends or whoever it is, people you don't know, there's certain phrases that you don't want to use. But if you happen to, one thing you need to always remember is you want to ask the person the questions that you want asked to you. So in other words, if you ask someone that you don't know, hey, what do you do? Or maybe it's someone that you do know that you haven't seen in a while. You ask them, hey, what are you doing now for work? Chances are, after they tell you, they're going to ask you, what do you do for work? And that is an open invitation to you letting them know. Don't even forget about your other job, whatever it is you do, if you do something else, and jump right on that by just telling them, listen, I'm dealing with Bitcoin. I have a great software. It's earning me around 1 to 3% a day, 7 days a week. That kind of thing. You can kind of get into a conversation with them about that. If you're new and you don't know much about PGI, then you just tell them, listen, let me get your cell phone if you don't have their number, and I will text you a lot of more information about what I'm doing. And then just start chatting with them about whatever. But you don't want to feel uncomfortable if you don't know, if you're new and you really don't know what to say. But you want to get them to give you a yes, that yes, you can text me. Yes, you can. Because if you can get someone to say 3 yeses to you, it basically you've got them, so to speak. So from a psychology standpoint, if you can get someone to say 3 yeses, so that's it's the way you present yourself to people. You don't want to tell them, hey, I would like to, but I want to. That's what you tell them. Yeah, it's not I would like to, but I want to. So I want to give you information, not that I would like to. So you just have to be a little bit more confident in your approach. But again, if you don't know much about what you're involved with, then just get their number, get their information, and then get with your sponsor. We can always get them on a call and just be more productive that way. So with that, I'd like to bring Gary on to chat about the Vegas experience. He can tell you a little bit about his new role on what that's going to be in Vegas. and because we did take a trip. Me, Gary Wood, and Richard Marks. We took a trip to Vegas on Friday, and we were able to meet with Caesar as well as RV, and he took us out to dinner. We had a great time. A lot of things coming down the pipeline. And we'll tell you that we're about 10 to 11% into where PGI is going. So I do have a little um, uh, something I'd like to share after Gary speaks to kind of reiterate what Caesar had spoken to us in the penthouse about, assuming Gary doesn't touch on it. So right now I want to bring on Gary Wood to chat about um, Vegas and things that are coming down the pipeline. So Gary, you want to unmute yourself and start chatting?
Hey, Brian. Can you hear me good?
I can, yeah. Hear you fine.
I'm still in Vegas, man. Where'd you go? No, I do come here a lot, but I'm actually back. I didn't need a plane to fly home. How about you guys? What we saw, especially with the private meeting with Caesar, and then when we went to dinner, my wife and I got to sit with him. And there's stuff you don't even know, man. So we got to catch up. But it was a tremendously exciting trip. We went down there with a big list, lots of expectations, a lot of questions that needed to be answered. And I was a little bit surprised that Caesar went into. By the way, if you don't know who Caesar is, he's the president of the company. He's the one that is kind of offsets RV. RV goes crazy, throws money at everybody, and Caesar kind of tones him down. So they're a good balancing act back and forth. But Caesar is definitely the business part of the deal. The brains behind it is definitely RV. But we got to spend a lot of time up in the suite and around. Day and night drove cars around, and I don't know if they're going to show you those pictures. We had a really good time, and it worked out to where we got to see the new office. We walked through it, and we finally got the key from Caesar. When we got in there, RV was in there already in the office with the master distributor from Texas for the USA. So we got to spend time with her, and we got some video, and what was really exciting to me is I'm going to be able to get to be the corporate trainer for the company, it looks like, in Las Vegas. And, there's probably some perks of some driving cars and staying at the Waldorf Astoria, so it's going to be a tough job. But I'm volunteering and I'm going to do it. So I'm looking forward to it. The office, we did get some videos so you girls could see what it looks like before they're done. But they're going to have across the hallway on the same floor the hedge fund. There's so much coming, it's hard to articulate, but let me just say this. It's real, folks. Everything about what we saw, the questions we asked, the documentation that we saw, especially what Caesar drew out on that whiteboard for us, that really cleared me up with a lot of issues about USA and compliance and securities laws and